So tried I tried to get a couple of people to go live with me, and so I'd never done it over the phone. So, um, yeah, so I sent a couple people the link. So if they can get on, that would be awesome. If they can't, that's okay. This is my first time doing it like this. So, um, let me see here. All right. When they pop in, why am I in reverse all of a sudden? That's really weird. So I've never done that before. I don't like that. It makes me feel weird, but I can't fix it, I don't think. Nope, can't fix it. So I'm gonna be at a weird angle in my car. That's okay. So just trying to get this figured out. I invited some people to be in my live today. So we'll figure it out. So thank you for watching. Today we had garden questions. So if you have any garden questions, feel free to ask. I can help you with that. And or we can discuss specific topics. I know I had kind of rambled a little bit yesterday because I really didn't have I knew what I wanted to talk about, but I was in my car. So I'm like, this is so weird for me. So let's see. People probably think I'm an idiot because they'll walk by here in a minute and they'll see me on my phone in the car. Hey, Mad Chick, killing me with the midday lives, but I'll just lurk. Sorry. Um, I want to go live later in the evening, but I have my son, so it makes it difficult to. It just makes it difficult. If I can put him to bed. Oh, thank you. My husband just picked up some chicken breasts. Thank you. Um, it's weird getting text messages too. I hope you guys can hear me okay. I kind of have my car running and everything else going on. So anyway, I kind of was on a rant yesterday about lots of different topics, and then I kind of got all confused in my head, and which usually happens. But I have a lot of things that I want to do um this uh spring. So I'm gonna be looking through a lot of catalogs and stuff like that, and hoping and praying that everything goes smooth this year. I have not a lot of help in the garden because my husband works, and he does help to a certain extent. I'm not saying he doesn't help at all, but it just makes it really, really hard uh, to get everything done that I needed to get done. And so the garden this year kind of lagged. Last year kind of lagged because of that. I'm like, I couldn't do it all. No, I'm not saying it. Can you go somewhere else and harass somebody else? I'm like so tired of the BS. See you later. Bye. I mean, really? Nothing's hotter than a girl in a hoodie. Like, get a life. So, um, there's a couple things. Okay, so I got my garlic planted 4 weeks ago before first frost. See, I didn't plant any garlic this year, and that kind of sucks. My nails need done really badly, so I'm afraid to show my hands, but they need done really badly. I got my garlic planted for one variety seems soft, so they probably won't come up. That sucks. I know this one year I got this really awesome garlic from um a farmer's market. And we planted it and we had more garlic the next year, and it was like big. I think it was like the hard neck variety. I think that's what it was. I'm not even sure because I got it at a farmer's market. So I replanted it and I got beautiful. They're sitting on my porch right now, just drying in the porch. But oh man, they are awesome and they were big. And that's awesome for garlic. Um, okay, so I spent all I don't know if you have watched any of my previous lives, but I spent a lot of time talking about pelletized seeds and how much I disliked them. So, oh, now I have no. Oh, now somebody's watching. Cool. Um, so I hated pelletized seeds because for me, it was really, really hard, especially if you just planted them directly to get them to pop up. Now, I've gotten pelletized seeds before, like stevia pelletized seeds. And I actually planted those in pots and put them in my grow room that I have in my basement. So I watched them. But with the pelletized seeds that I just threw in the ground for my carrots, I couldn't be out there every day watching them and making sure that they popped up and all of that. So I had a huge issue with pelletized seeds. And I really talked against it for the longest time because I was like, this is such a pain in the ass. And I waited and waited and waited a really long time for my seeds to pop up, and nothing was happening. So then I got really impatient, and by the way, I'm a really impatient person. Um, and it's just by fault. Like sometimes I don't even know I'm doing it. So I'm just really super impatient person. Um, so I was really impatient. I planted every single carrot that I had that year just to kind of at least get something. And I didn't really get that many carrots. I really didn't. I got a couple. Um, but my husband and I found those pelletized carrot seeds again. And I was like, okay, I'm like, if you can get them to grow, they're yours. So we did kind of like a little challenge, and he was going to grow his, and then I was grow mine on my side and see which ones were the best. And so far, it was the pelletized seeds. I think that did really well, and we actually got really good crop out of them. I was just super, super, super impatient. I did pelletize snap peas 2 years ago. They were pink, and the birds saw me. The one that didn't get eaten came up. Oh my gosh, that's horrible. I feel your pain. This year we're not going to have that issue, but last year I had planted seriously a pound of peas. I planted a pound of peas, and every day my turkey must have been out there just plucking them from the ground, and I didn't notice or whatever. But I'm like, man, these peas are so short. They grew, but they were just like stunted because she kept going out there and just eating the tops. So then we put a cage over them. Well, that was a huge mistake because then I couldn't get to the weeds because they were in a cage. Oh, what a pain in the ass. I'm telling you. That was like horrible. So I'll never do that again. And we're not going to have that same issue this year because I only have one turkey. So, and he is with the chickens right now. He is in the run with the chickens. So I'm not going to have that issue this year. If I am going to have an issue, it'll probably be with wildlife. And I think I can deal with that more so than I can my chickens, actually. My own chickens, the ones that I raise, going out there and eating them. So, um, hey, thanks for coming in. Appreciate you. Oh, is that Mark? I think I knew that. I'm not really good with name. Hi. I think that was you. I didn't. Is that your other channel? I don't know. But anyway, so this year I have it a plan that I'm not um gonna be dealing with any of that nonsense. I'm not. I'm gonna clean up the garden really good. And you know what's funny is I didn't even get. I had a huge. I bought like a 5 pound bag of radishes that I was gonna do a cover crop with, And sorry if this is really close, but I can't, my arm's getting tired. Um, oh yeah, okay, cool. I wondered who it was. So, I totally forgot what I was talking about now because I got sidetracked. I can't do two different things at once anymore. My brain has been not so hot. So anyway, um, this year I'm doing a no nonsense kind of thing, making sure that everything gets put down. Um, I I don't know if I'm going to plant the entire garden. I don't know. That's another thing I've been thinking about is not planting the entire garden this year. Yeah, I have a lot of squirrel moments. Well, okay. So I've been on this one medication for close to 10 years now, right? And it helped me. So I didn't bother to check out any of the side effects of this medication because it helped me. And so I wasn't gonna even question it. I'm like, I needed something to help me and it helped me. But I've been on this medication now for 10 years. So I started to do a little more research since I've been a little more health conscious. And sorry. And I found out that my medication could cause memory lapse and it can cause you to get dementia. So I need to get off this medication as fast as I possibly can. I've been on it for 10 years, so God knows what has really happened to my brain in those 10 years. But um, yeah, so this summer is what I plan on escaping that. So I get a lot of squirrel moments, and it's not because I tried or I it's because of the medication I'm on. So yay. Um, what else? You guys have any garden questions you can ask me or anything like that? This last summer, I was so impressed by all the information that I had gained from just being on Grow Big TV for just the little while that we did it. We're still doing Grow Big TV, by the way. Joe and I are not in a fight. Joe and I are still really good friends. Joe and I talk a lot, but he's just been super busy. And I have been too, but he's been really busy. He got a new job and he's a bus driver. And so his priorities have changed a little bit. So as soon as he gets some kind of pattern to when he will have time off, and then I can bend around my schedule, um, then we can start Grow Big TV again. So sorry if that just came to a complete halt, but we just had a lot going on. um, but I was so proud of myself of everything I learned from Grow Big TV that I couldn't believe the difference everything made in my garden. Like, I started feeding the microbes in my garden and stuff like that, and I couldn't believe it. Like, I I didn't have any bugs. And that I'm not saying I didn't have any bugs. That's really the wrong choice of words. I did have bugs, but I didn't have anything where it was like a complete um takeover and eating everything. In fact, I think the most issues I had last year was raccoons and rats. That was of course the one year I didn't get bugs. I got raccoons and rats eating my vegetables, particularly my cucumbers. And I woke up when okay, I had did a video. This was horrible. This is horrible. Okay, so I did a video and I showed everybody how happy I was with my cucumbers. They were so beautiful. I'm like, look at these. And the next day or so, I'm gonna have beautiful cucumbers, right? So I go out there, I go to check on them. take a look, and they're gone, and some of the vines are taken out. And I was like, "What in the hell happened?" I'm like, "Just 2 days ago, I made a video. They were beautiful." What do I have on my face right here? I don't know. But I was like, "Just 2 days ago, I made a video and it was so beautiful. The cucumbers were fantastic." And then I slowly started discovering that it was rats. So we got rid of them. Now, when you have animals and you have animals on a farm and you have feed out constantly, you're going to get some kind of rodents. You're just going to. It just happens. And it's okay to have a small population. It is not okay to be overrun, obviously. So, you do have to take care of that. But it was I was just not happy because I was so worried. And then I tried. It was too late. It was too late. I tried to make up for that, and I tried to start cucumbers later on in the year. I never have success with that. Like, in the middle of summer, "Oh, I'm gonna start some cucumbers again." I the second times around never work out for me, never. So, I have to do it right from the beginning, or it's a sham. Hey, Marshmallow Man, thanks for coming in. So, last year from feeding the microbes, one of my customers is he's laughing his butt off about the rodents. Oh yeah, dude, listening. Sorry. I was like, okay, yeah. Yeah, the rats were horrible. Um we've had rats before, and actually we have taken our pew pews out in the middle of the night. My husband and I he had bought night vision. Thank you. And we would go out in the barn. It was like 1 o'clock at night, and slowly diminished the rat population that way because we had this in our heads that this was going to be such a great idea. We were going to have an automatic feeder, right? So we're going to have this automatic feeder. We don't have to go out there every day, as much as we, had been. It's going to be great. And no, don't ever do those automatic feeders. You will regret it. You will regret it. I can understand if you go on a vacation and you like have somebody coming out checking on your chickens and you really don't want somebody messing around with that. So you do an automatic feeder for that. And some people they do fermented stuff, whatever. But I'm telling you what, it created a huge issue. Which, from one, there was already an issue to begin with when we moved in because the people that had the house before us had chickens and all of that. So there was already a rodent issue to begin with. And then um, once we had that automatic feeder where they could just go in and just eat whatever the heck I mean, they would literally eat us out of house and home. We were going through so much feed. So soon as we diminished that and got rid of that, and we slowly started getting rid of the rats because they didn't really have anywhere to eat or anywhere to go. So we slowly thank you, by the way, for Marshmallow Man for being a member. I don't know if I thanked you, but thank you for being a member of my channel. Appreciate it. Um, so anyway, we got rid of that. But then last year we had a rat problem, and I think it's because we stopped feeding the rats, so they came up closer to the garden where there was food. Um, but we got rid of them. We were more than prepared because, by the way, a lot of people buy that Ratinator from Tractor Supplies. I don't know if you ever had gotten it before, but it's probably one of the best things ever. Rats are really things I've learned about rats. It's insane. By the way, they're really, really smart critters. They're very, very intelligent. So you can't just set a trap. You have to kind of like prime your trap for a couple weeks or even a month before. Thank you. Oh, that's nice. Sorry, Robin. Robin Hood just told me that I gained 7% today. Thank you. Um, so that's another thing. Like you have to prime the traps. You have to make sure that there's food in there that they can go in there and explore it. And then before you know it, then you set the trap, and then they go in and they'll go in all at once. They're like, oh, there's food here. That's what you know. My rat buddy told me. And then before you know it, you can get all of them at once. But you can't keep using the trap over and over again. You have to use it like a couple months later again. Like because they're so smart, they'll remember and then they'll go nowhere near your trap. Crazy the things that I've learned about rats. And I don't want to use anything poisonous on them because of my chickens. Like I don't want my chickens to like peck at a rat or something like that, and then before you know it, I killed my chicken because I gave my rat poison. Plus, it's not good for the environment and all that stuff. So, anyway, big issue last year. It's hopefully not going to be an issue this year. Um, what else? I haven't done it yet, but I am ordering pelletized seeds. I'm going to Johnny Seeds for that. I have I need to do a video of it. I have so many seeds, you guys, it's ridiculous. So I need to really like sit down with my husband and really go over everything to see what exactly we want to do this year. I know I want to plant a bunch of flowers and stuff like that. Like that's a given. That's something I do every year. But as far as vegetables and stuff are concerned, I have no idea. So we'll have to figure that out. Did you guys have any garden questions so far with anything that I've been talking about? Okay, so I had a lot of issues in the past with spotty mildew, downy mildew, just mildew on my plants. What else? Um, I've had issues with bugs, stuff like that. So I figured out ways to get around some of this stuff. One is buying hybrid seeds. Now, I love heirloom seeds, and I think they're really, really important. Heirloom seeds are really super important to keep. They're even better when you can grow your own and save your own seeds. That's really the best part. But I've been using a lot of hybrid seeds because it makes it easier. And I see why a lot of people do. It is a challenge to do heirloom seeds because you run into a lot of issues. They're not protected, and so they can be more susceptible to viral infections and all different kinds of different stuff that plants can get. So I've been using hybrid seeds. I've been using hybrid tomatoes and then hybrid cucumbers, and I'm using hybrid carrot seeds. And so far, it's been extremely successful when I use those. So I'll be buying more seeds again um, here soon. But Johnny Seeds has exactly what I want as far as my cucumbers are concerned and as far as my carrots are concerned. I don't know what I'm going to do tomato wise. I planted a ton of tomatoes last year and I just wasn't feeling it. I just wasn't feeling it. So I don't know. Have you ever had anybody like just by the way people act and the things that they were doing completely wreck everything that you had planned and you're like, I just don't even feel like doing this anymore. That's kind of where I'm at in my head and about certain things. I'm not worried about the garden right now. It's buried under 2 feet of snow. Oh, I'm in snow too. Hold on. Snow. But you better start worrying about the garden here pretty soon because you're going to have to start things, right? Here before too long. Let's see. January is usually the month will be. By the way, if you want to plant any flowers, some flowers, some, not sun, some flowers take forever. And I know one year I planted begonias, and you were supposed to have started them in January or even late December. So take a look at that, because there are a lot of things that you have to start right now in order to get flowers or whatever, especially the fancy ones. Um, I know the begonias took forever. I know that. And I got begonias in a little, like, little teeny, like, pill bottle. And I think I got 30 plants, but when I opened up the seeds, they were like freaking dust. They were so small. And I ended up getting, I can't remember how many I got out of them. Hello, How to Garden. In a month, I'll be worrying about my tomato starts, my pepper starts, and my, oh, and your starts a pot. Oh, yeah. So you'll have to start thinking about that here in a month. Hopefully, you have everything that you are looking for or that you need for planting. And what else? I don't know. I'm gonna have to get all my stuff started here too. But lately here, I yeah, that's snow because I live where there's snow. Um, what else? Yeah. So I want to talk a little more about hybrids, but yeah. So I've been using a lot of hybrids for different things, specifically tomatoes, because I usually had been having issues. Now the only issue I have is calcium issues. So that's because I rotate my crops. And what's funny is my one bed I'll do tomatoes in, and I finally have it perfect, and I'm like, oh, I've got to rotate that next year. So then I rotate it to another bed, and it doesn't have all the wonderful things in it that I had already amended in it. That's what usually happens with me. So, but we've been rotating them. Sorry, guys, my hand's getting tired. I need a stand for car ride or car stuff. I don't want to get so close, it's ridiculous. Then you can see all the spots on my face. The only thing I got to worry about getting still is potato starch and garlic starts. Oh, you meant starts. Potato starts and garlic starts and onion starts. Yeah. Gonna do lots of bush cukes. Oh, bush ones, huh? Now, question with that. How do they turn out? I okay. I have planted bush variety cucumbers before, and I only would ever get like a little teeny cucumber on it. So I started doing the I got a hybrid something or another. I'm not telling what kind of cucumbers because I don't want people to go and buy a bunch of them because I want them. But so I got this specific cucumber, and yeah, I got pretty good ones. I think they were about 8 inches, 8, 9 inches. So they were pretty good size. But the ones that I planted bush variety, they didn't do so hot. Well, they did okay. They were still alive, but I wasn't getting a big cucumber, not like the ones you see normally. I'm gonna try to get hundreds of pounds of tomatoes this summer so I can make pasta sauce. Yeah. Um, get your hand on some hybrid tomato seeds. You'll be really surprised, Marshmallow Man, of how much you can get. We planted, now I can't think of the name of it right now at the top of my head. I planted a bunch of hybrid paste tomatoes one year, and literally I was pulling 60 pounds every 3 to 4 days. 60 pounds of tomatoes. I had so many tomatoes, it was ridiculous. And I did make a ton of sauce. And that's another reason why we're not making a bunch of tomato stuff, because I still have tons of tomato sauce. And we cut back on pasta. I haven't eaten pasta in a very long time. We don't eat it hardly at all. So I'm like, I don't really have anything to do unless I make chili. And so, I just end up having so much tomato, and I think a lot of people do. I know the one woman I work with, she, doesn't do tomatoes every she only does them every other year because she ends up getting so much sauce that they can't eat it fast enough. So you could do hundreds of pounds of tomatoes this summer, and then you probably won't have to plant hundreds of pounds of tomatoes next year. So that might work out for you. But yeah, so I wanted to go back to what I was talking about earlier. So I had fed the microbes in my garden. And a lot of things that I learned um from Matt Powers, and gosh, man, I had learned so much stuff. It was ridiculous. My brain was like gonna explode. Um so I started feeding the microbes in the garden, and I started using the biochar. And then I had used expired milk, so I'd let it sit out for a while, and if we didn't drink it or whatever, I would just let it expire, and then I would put it in the garden. So I used that and biochar, and I use this organic fertilizer that I had gotten at the Food Independence Summit with Tammy. And I put that all on the garden, and it seriously, feeding the microbes in the garden and finally having the right combination of soil in the garden, finally, after all this time. It's taken us a while because we fill up the beds, and so with soil every few years and stuff like that, so it takes a while. It takes longer to get to where you want as far as that's concerned. Sorry, I feel like I have something on my head. And so I didn't have any bug pressure, and it was so freaking amazing. And I don't usually, okay, usually when I leave to go to the Food Independence Summit, I have to leave my garden, and I come back, and usually by that time it is so ravaged with cucumber beetles. And this last year I had hardly any. And it was amazing, guys. Like, I normally fight those suckers, and I fight them hard. And I didn't have any issues with those. Remember the year in Chud Wars I got 400 pounds of tomatoes? Yes, I think I do. Yes. Um, Diluted yogurt works too. Good idea. I never thought about that. But yeah, so I just started using spoiled milk, and it really, really did a great job in the garden. I think it really fed the microbes and stuff like that. So I'll be doing that again this year, just kind of getting things prepared. I can't really do anything out there right now. It's freezing. It's freezing, and I got snow on everything, and so there's that. But yeah, for those of you who just came in, went in it, or if this is the snow, that's my son's playground. So yes, we have snow. We're gonna get more, I think, tonight, or maybe Southern Ohio is getting more. I can't really remember. Um, but we got quite a bit, more so than normal. Um, do any of you guys feel like you have conquered the garden? Like, or do you feel like you're doing something new every year? Are you doing anything to challenge yourself every year? And I don't know. I think I've kind of got lazy on the challenging part of it. I just find what works, and I plant it, and then I grow it, and it works out. But I haven't done anything that's so challenging. I haven't done it in a few years. I'm done with tomatoes after this last season. I'm good for 2 years on canned varieties. Gave away about 300 pounds. Yeah, yeah, that's another thing is I didn't sell as many as I wanted to because I was so busy over the summer, and then I just had just so many tomatoes. I was giving them away. So, yeah, we had so many tomatoes last year, it was ridiculous. Um, I know in years past, this is so funny. I found an old paper of when I was collecting the weight of everything from the garden. And one year we did 580 pounds. And then the next year we did 800 pounds or something like that. So I had been looking at all of our um, totals. Yeah, and it's hard to build real soil and get good soil. You have to do a lot of figuring and putting different things in it. With our chickens, it's so easy because they make soil and we just keep it aside and then we top off the garden beds with chicken manure. And we've been doing that now for the past couple years. For those that haven't seen it, um, I'll let you know that we did get chickens. Um, we got some more chickens. We got 17 more. And they are just little babies. So we'll be putting those out here before too long. I think I'm done with challenges. I don't know. I'm done with group collaborations, I can tell you that. But I don't know. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I don't know. I don't really get I don't know. I did a carrot challenge last year and I don't know. We'll see. In the summertime started challenge up with friends like, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm kind of done with that. I've been emotionally spent. I can tell you that. Yeah. We did at one point we had about 50 chickens. And due to predators or whatever, we have dwindled down. And I'm telling y'all, I had 4 chickens this winter. 4. So we had to get more chickens. We got 17. We have wide varieties. I had black copper Moran, a lot of Easter eggers. Um, I can't think of a partridge Easter egger, which I've never seen before. I thought it was so cool. So I got one of them. And so none of our chickens are going to have white eggs. All of them are going to be green, brown, or blue. So, and I'm thinking about upping my egg price because because I am so I this is what irritates me about chicken eggs. And it's not any if you think that you're gonna get rich on chicken eggs, you aren't. So just FYI. Um I would sell dozens of eggs as periodically. And then sometimes I wouldn't sell anything. And then sometimes like people would call me out of the blue and be like, "Hey, do you have eggs? I need about 4 dozen." I'm like, "You're calling one at the wrong time." Because usually between Easter and the end of August, I have especially around Easter, I would have so many eggs. I would have 8 dozen eggs every couple days. And so, actually, yes, I am. Thanks for asking. Um, 8 to 9. Yeah. Um, so anyway, I'm just kind of sick of that. Like, I just want people to buy eggs and you know, like, just buy some eggs. Like, I don't need I don't know. Anyway, I'm kind of annoyed with it. I am gonna put eggs down still, but I think I'm gonna put a couple dozen at a time, and my price is definitely going up. So, I don't know. It's been crazy. And I 7 dozen around here. Yeah, I would get, like, seriously, every couple days, I had so many chickens, I was getting 8 dozen eggs every couple days, and, it was nuts. I couldn't sell them fast enough, like, I couldn't sell them, and, like, I would have so many eggs. They were everywhere. I have another refrigerator that I was keeping them in. I would help you out with the challenge with friends. We can do it America versus Garden Wars. Yeah, I wanna if I were to do something like that, I wanna stay clear of anything wars. If I were to do something like that, I'd want it to be 100% original and nothing to do with them. For something out here. Yeah, for a dozen or whatever. Yeah, it's pretty expensive here too, as far as eggs are concerned. Where was it? Somebody was complaining online or something, and they said their eggs were absolutely ridiculous. And I'm like, we actually hadn't had to buy eggs until this year. So we didn't really realize, I don't think, how expensive they actually were. I have to think about it, Marshmallow Man. If Gina and Chris want to do it, yeah. So my husband and I have been talking about visiting Chris and Gina again. So we might do that, which is really exciting because I really need a vacation. So, um, trying to think. I gotta do beans this year for sure. I don't know if any of you guys can beans, but my canned beans are really popular, I guess. I don't know. And my family loves them. And so I make green bean casserole for the holidays when we go down to my husband's side of the family, and they love my beans so much. And I've been doing a lot of green bean casserole stuff for a while. Since I had the beans and stuff, I'm like, I'll just make green bean casserole. I've been bringing it everywhere. Now I'm running out, so I definitely need to do beans next year. Where can I get chickens that date stamp when they lay? Yeah, for real. Hey, Kathleen, thanks for coming in. Oh God, $10 a dozen? Yeah. You need some backyard chickens, girl. You just need like four. Four chickens in a small coop. You don't even need a rooster. But I think I showed pictures. Um, I'm pretty sure I showed pictures on here. I did a small video of the chickens when I first got them. So they're getting bigger now, a lot bigger. But we're keeping them in the basement for right now because it's so cold out. And it's not ideal to get chickens in the middle of winter. However, the whole thing behind it was, well, if we don't get chickens now, we're not going to have eggs in the middle of winter, or I mean, in the middle of summer. We're not going to have any because we're just going to have the 3 or 4 that we have left. So we decided to get them now, and hopefully by July they will be laying. By How to Garden. You can make all the rules. I'll just be the leader for Canadian side. Okay. Well, okay. Well, I have to think about it, and I'll text you or something and let you know. I'm still getting 18 for $5 from a friend of my wife's. 18 chickens, and they aren't slowing down. Nice. Mine usually slow down in the wintertime. And that's okay too, because I really don't want them to lay in the wintertime and be under any kind of stress. I just want them to be conserved and warm and not worry about the constant egg laying. And typically they're okay until Easter. I don't know. There's some the light, they get more light. Easter usually is nuts and I get more eggs than normal. It's crazy. Hey, how to Garden State Gardener. Sorry, I saw you come in and I thought I said hi, but I don't know. I don't know where my brain is. I don't have one anymore. Thanks for coming in, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you for still being members of my channel. I It took me a minute to even do this and to get back on again because I just don't feel it. Well, we know that. Ha ha ha. Viper. Ha ha ha. Oh, you're driving the bus? I was just talking about you actually as to why we haven't done lives in a while. It's like, well, I got a job, Joe got a job, and we need money to live. And so therefore we haven't been on as much. I still feel like I have something right here, but there's nothing there. I think it's something reflecting. Oh Lord, I'm getting old. Um, so but that's pretty much it for like garden wise, guys. So and chickens. I can talk about chickens and gardening all pretty much all day. I love my chickens. Um, we had talked about getting more ducks, and we did find a place that has runner ducks. By the way, we love runner ducks, and we found a place that we can actually have runner ducks or get them from them instead of like okay so if you go to like a hatchery or something like that and you get animals like that typically you have to buy a bunch at once like they have a set number like oh okay well you can only get 10 at a time or something like that well I didn't want that many freaking ducks and at that point it's like a straight run and god knows what you're really going to get I'm going to end up with 8 males and 1 female and that's not cool so we found a place that has runner ducks and they'll have eggs um, and they'll hatch some in the spring. So hopefully we can get runner ducks. And we've never had those before, and they're super cute. I don't know if you know what a runner duck is, but you'll have on here. But you have to check them out because they're super cute. Son. So thank you guys for hanging out today and talking garden stuff. I'm trying to get back into it. And I think I've just been distracted for way too long. I just need to go back to basics. I think so. But yeah, so if you have any garden questions or whatever, feel free to ask. You can leave a comment, any community dab, whatever. And you can leave a comment and I will try to answer it the best way I know how. And if I don't know the answer, then I'm not going to answer it. I'll just say, like, I don't know the answer to that. But we'll see you all next time. And hopefully, I can make this a habit and go live in the afternoons like this. I did invite some people to come up here, and I was hoping that they would come up so I could figure it out how to do this because I sent them a link. But I have to get off of here, so I don't have time to fool around. But we will see you all next time and have a good one. Bye, guys.